Hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 3 of Not Another Podcast. My name is Heidi, and I have 2 special guests today. So, introduce yourselves.
Hi, my name is Keverly's for people.
And I'm Sanaya.
Our producer, she's back again, so we're excited for that. And our producer tonight is Mr. Derek.
Yo, my mic ain't even on. Oh, is it? I'm just gonna stay in the background. I'm sorry.
You on? You good? You running?
Good,
All right. This
we lit.
Yeah,
Okay. We good.
Perfect. Sounds good. All right. Well, tonight, whatever you want to call it, our topic is more of a Q&A kind of thing. We're all just going to ask questions on our differences and how we feel about dating a Christian versus dating a non-Christian.
Right.
So, who wants to start this off? What would be our first question to break this topic in?
Well, have you guys been in a Christian and a non-Christian relationship? Like
Yes.
both of them?
Yes, I have been in. My current one is a Christian relationship, and my very toxic relationship was with a non-believer. So I feel like I got and it's just like, toxic kind of. I mean, I wasn't so much of a believer while I was dating that person. I was raised in church, but I wasn't really like attending church and, just building a relationship with God. So I feel like that also wasn't helping either.
Right.
I feel like now I'm in a different phase where it's like I'm working towards a relationship with God, but my significant other is too. So it's like,
Period.
the foundation's there.
Love it.
And then for you?
Yes. I dated non-Christians. I dated a Muslim drug dealer.
Talk about that. I want to hear about
Yes,
that.
I need to hear that because I feel like this is the
wanna
first time I
hear
heard
about
this.
He was
I'm intrigued.
We're still praying for him.
In Jesus' name.
Yeah. Now I'm married to a Christian, but he was also a Christian before I don't know if he was a Christian. He went to church, but he saved his life when I was with him, dating, talking. Yeah.
No.
That's dope. That had to be a great experience, just like watching someone that like you're dating give their life to God. Because sometimes it happens where like they're going to church, like you're going to church and they're going to church, but they just haven't had that encounter yet. Like, and that encounter might happen while they're with you, or
I love it. I love it. I love it. I genuinely love when I see men crying, like on the altar.
yes.
I genuinely
oh
love
my
it.
gosh, I love that.
I love it.
Giving
Like,
your
love
life to God.
Just stop.
Period.
Like,
Love it.
I want to
Like,
see all of
yes.
it. Like, yes,
Do it.
because
Like,
it's like God is so great, and often men feel like they can't show their emotions.
They
as much.
surrender.
And like you're just at the altar, you're surrendering, like you're just putting it all.
Facts.
So that's a beautiful.
No, I like it because we all have different perspectives in a relationship, and you are married and I'm single. I had a question for you. So my question was, how was the process in dating? Like, how was building the friendship before getting into the relationship for you?
With Tyler?
Yeah. And what is the difference between the relationships that you were in before?
Okay, so with the other guys, it was more so of me like chasing them, like kind of like thing. Like it was more of me like doing stuff that's not really me.
Yeah.
To get their attention, to do this, and like little kid games like you play. And then with Tyler, it was more so of he was more chasing me. Yeah, he was more like into me, and like I liked his personality. He was so nice. He was funny. He was a creep, but he was funny. And like
Tyler, you didn't hear that.
I love it though. But it was different because the rest of the guys weren't really my friends. It was more so of like I was getting something out of it. I was getting pleasure. I was getting weed. I was getting like anything, like shopping sprees. Like it was more so of what they were doing for me. Tyler was more so of like my best friend. Like I can key with you. You're like the first person that like Kiki, like, you know, like,
That's
you
so
ever met
dope.
somebody and you
Like-
tell them your darkest secrets right away? Like, it was that vibe.
Yes,
Those
yes,
vibes. Like, I
that's-
tell you my dark secrets.
That's
off the
exactly
back.
how I felt. Like the same way. It's like I knew this was good. Like I knew something beautiful was coming out
Right.
of this when I was able to be at my most vulnerable moment. Like
Yeah.
I've never sobbed, like cried in front of like a guy because like I grew up independent and like I didn't like relying on men. I didn't show my true emotions. Like I would be more of like I'm not putting my pride aside for
Right.
nobody. No man, nobody. Like so it's like meeting someone where I can show that ugly side, where I can like cry and just tell them everything that I've been through and like a lot of secrets I was
Yeah.
able to share that like not even my family, you know, truly know. So it's like I'm like, man, this is something
Right.
This is something good. Like something beautiful is coming out of this. Because with my exes before, I feel like it wasn't even a
Right.
bond there as much. Like
Yeah,
when you
yep.
truly, and then you think at the moment, because don't get me wrong, at the moment you think, oh, I got a bond with this person. I'm in love. This is my soulmate. And then you finally get somebody who does the things that you want, who's
Right.
intentional about, and you're like, yo, those were nothing compared to what I have now. Like they were nothing. So it's like, that's definitely a big thing for me. Just once you feel that comfortability to like be able to share those things and feel heard, feel understood, like that's beautiful. So I hope you get to experience that soon.
I don't even think I'm in the season or even close to the season of being in a relationship because I feel like as a Christian I'm still learning my own walk. And I feel like I am still trying to find my own who I am in Christ, and I'm not going to add anybody else. I also think that I'm healing from a lot of non-Christian relationships and trauma that I've been through before, and just I feel like my biggest thing when I was not in Christ was relying on others to fill voids, and I'm kind of scared that I'm going to find a Christian relationship and try to fill that void with that. So I'm just...
So you don't want to sabotage it. Like,
I'm just gonna stay away, but I definitely
Day
do
by
have
day.
an idea on what I want my relationship to look like, and what I want my walk with Christ to look like in a relationship as well.
oh, I got a question now that you mentioned that. I mean, for those who are in it and the ones that are like, you know, seeking, like, what are the top 3 things that you look like, Naya, for example, like, what are the top 3 things that you looked forward to knowing, like, I need you to have this in order for me to marry you? Like, these are like a big must-haves.
Family oriented. Number 1, you gotta be family oriented. Funny. I love to laugh. You can't take life seriously. You gotta like.
A kiki through
You gotta kiki like.
Yeah, sometimes you
gotta
gotta
kiki,
just laugh
like-
it out this time. Like,
Oh man, the car broke down. Kiki like. Guess we're walking. Like.
Guess we're pushing the car.
You broke. Like you gotta kiki. You had to be family oriented. He had to have a great personality, and then, to be honest, I never. So it's like I'm just spitballing things that our Tyler has, the qualities I love. I've never sat down and be like, I need him to have this and this and this and this. I've never been that type. I think that's good that people do that. You know what you're looking for, but I've never like sat down and was like, this is what kind of guy I was looking for. I was always open to what adventure guy was taking me. I was always just open. So I never like was like, oh, I'm not gonna talk to you because you don't make this much money, or I'm not gonna talk to you because you're not funny because I don't really know you. Like, you know, like I don't know. I wasn't
feel like
looking
I was-
for certain qualities for people.
yeah, like I feel like I wasn't like how you saying like you don't have like these certain exact things, but I feel like I kind of chased the same type of men.
Oh really?
Like,
your flesh, though.
and not even, like I feel like it wasn't even like intentional. Like it's just like I had a thing for Puerto Ricans, let's say, and he had to be a drug dealer, or like it was just like, I mean, these are worldly things. Like I wasn't a Christian,
of
so
course,
it's
yeah.
like, and he didn't have to, but he just like, he had to be like the cool guy. Like I didn't want to, you're in school, you didn't want to date the nerd. Like I don't know, like it's just like, and that was like little high school petty relationships.
Yeah.
I feel like
So what do you
even
feel
now,
you
like I
find
don't
now?
like now. What I look for is not more in like looks or like career. I mean, I would hope you have a job, like, you know, at the age that we're in. But like, one of my biggest things that I love with my I done said the thing with my relationship now is like communication. But like with the communication, it's also like how he approaches the communication. So it's not on some like, you know, because you could talk, but you could be hollering everything that you want to talk about, or just like saying it in a disrespectful way. Like my partner has never, ever, not even accidentally slipped up to even disrespect me in any type of way. So it's like,
yeah, big up.
So like, you know, I experienced that.
And he fine too.
I'm gonna need you to relax.
I seen him. I'm not gay, but he look good too.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. It's lit.
Relax.
He's gassing it right now.
Yeah, he's gaslighting himself.
Kiki that.
But like, I never got to experience that. Like, you know, with my exes, like I got disrespected. Like they attempted to lay hands on me. We just gonna say that. Called you out of your
like put their hands on you.
Yeah, like
I always wanted somebody to test it. I always.
Oh no, girl, we not
tested. Yeah, exactly. A murder scene.
Yes, like we not gonna talk about what happened after he tried that, because I'm not I'm saved now. Let's just say, like, but I did not. Yes, all glory to God. Like,
Tyler definitely tried it.
You know, it was just toxic.
Yes, he did. 100% definitely tried it.
Wow.
Yes, he did. I don't know what he was thinking.
It didn't succeed
at all. I mean, thank God he's still alive. But
yeah, like it was. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good.
No, go ahead.
No, I want to hear this because now you got me like, what?
No, it was because I kind of sounded sus at. Oh yeah, no. It was like I was like on him first. Like I was like, and he like the black yo. It was like
he tried to reciprocate,
and he was trying to like reciprocate, but then he was trying to also like get me out of his face. But you know, I was black, and I was like, oh, you got the and it was on the puppet in the closet, popping heads off the wall, makeup all on the wall.
Hey yo,
listen, it was ugly. Let me just tell you, half the house got thrown on this man. But anyways, that's besides the point. Like, I'm just so grateful that I don't have to deal with that anymore, because it's just so unhealthy. Like having someone disrespect you, someone just call you out of your name, like someone to just like downgrade who you are. And then like me, like the way I grew up, like sometimes you start to believe those things. So just like being able to like meet a Christian man who doesn't do none of that, but instead like he just gives you the affirmation, like you are beautiful, I'm grateful for everything that you do. Like it's just a consistent reminder, like the random text messages, the random flowers, like everything's just so beautiful about it. And it's like you don't notice how much you need that and how much you cherish that until you have it, like until it's finally there in your face and you're like, man, God, like I should have listened to you. I should have prayed for this sooner, because I feel like, you know, my partner like is an answered prayer. Because I remember the nights where I was crying my eyes out, like begging God, like I don't want these type of men in my life. Like this is so unhealthy. Like I don't like this side of me. Like I'm gaining weight. I just feel unhappy. I'm always crying. Like it was just bad. Right. And it's like I knew it was an answered prayer, because I wouldn't be where I am today with my intention to like work on my relationship with God if it wasn't for my partner. Like he pushed me to be, you know, to strive for that. Like he pushed, like, and it was just the example that he gave. Right. Because, you know, he would come through and he'd talk about like word of faith and stuff like that. And I was just watching like, you know, Transformation Church, like the church that I attend, just on video, and that's it. But like just seeing how excited it got him and what he was learning, and how like it just like the fire was there, and that fire like lit my light, and I just like went from there. So it's like you just know, like some things you just know, and it's a beautiful experience. And I like, one thing I can say is like for everybody, I recommend, if you are a believer, seek out another believer, and one, get confirmation from God, because that's important. Like you don't want to divert the plans that God has for you. Like you know, God got a straight line. Now you sitting here crumbling rocks and just mountains and all that stuff. Like, no, God has a plan for you. God has, you know, things that he has for your life. So it's on some like, just make sure that it aligns with God's word and that this person is intentional about having a relationship with God.
Right.
Because once you start seeking for like, I feel like I'm close to the mic, but once you start like just accepting relationships from the world, like that's opening a portal for you to go back into the world, like where God like delivered you from.
Right.
So with that being
Question
said,
for y'all.
ooh,
Okay, so how do you, being like from the beginning of your relationship to now, how do you think you've grown into the person that you are? What have you learned from Christ? What lessons do you carry for the rest of your life? Like, how have you and your partner flourished since then?
since being like,
Well, for you, since converting again as a Christian in your walk, also in a relationship, and then for you from the beginning, what have you learned in this relationship that you carry on?
Sorry, can you repeat that one more time? I'm sorry.
we got distracted.
I'm like, I told you, the train.
Yeah, nah, June just came through. What's good, June? We lit. We gonna keep it moving.
Go ahead, you can go first.
Honestly, like I feel like I gotta think about it. Like,
Like, how have you grown from where you were now to where you were before to where you are now
how have I grown?
Yes.
I've grown. I feel like I've grown a lot.
in your relationship?
Like
not only with God, but with Derek.
I feel like the biggest thing that I'm still working on till this day is like, because of my past, I wasn't very good at communicating how I felt. Like I would just catch an attitude and ignore you, and you had to figure out why she mad. Like you had to trace back the steps, and it's like my relationship with God and the communication I have with Derek, it has helped me like really be able to be like, no, this is how I feel. I might be wrong and I'm not seeing the bigger picture, or I'm not seeing his perspective, or I'm not taking consideration, but like I'm still stating why I feel the way I feel. Like I'm not holding my feelings back anymore. I'm not, shutting the world out just because I'm upset. Like I did that a lot. I did that growing up as a kid. Like I remember being in school in like second grade, and I would be that kid that, you guys did something wrong. I would be so mad at the class. I'll walk away from the circle, and I'd be in the corner of the classroom like this, waiting for somebody to come ask me what's wrong. So it's like, it's something that I had to break. Like it was just something that I had to break. And I feel like I've been able to do that now.
Right.
Like with my relationship and with God, just like revealing that, because sometimes you don't even know the things that you need to work on until God just
Shows it to you.
throws it to you.
Jeez.
Like
That's a fact.
like, and it comes with patience, it comes with love, like it comes with all that type of things. So like I had to learn how to be patient with myself, be patient in my relationship, like be patient in waiting on God to answer prayers. So like that's another thing that I had to like learn, and I'm still learning. Like I feel like I haven't mastered anything, because every day there's room to grow in anything. So it's like, but those are the main things that God has just been like opening my eyes. Another thing is anger. Like when I'm like frustrated and I'm angry, like it's just I'm straight to hit 0 to 1,000 fast. And it's like, no, you gotta weigh out what's going on. You gotta understand the other person's perspective. You gotta understand why things were like, before you even jump to conclusions, before you even push yourself to start putting stuff in your head, because that's the first thing the enemy does.
That's a fact.
He's gonna sit here and put 100 things in your head, and all 100 things are going to be incorrect. Like it's not even that, it'll be something completely different. But because you allowed that anger to overtake you, you allowed that anger to just push you to that point where you're just so frustrated and you're so mad that you didn't even realize you're accusing this person of something, or you're believing something that's not even there, that wasn't even there to begin with. So like that's been another thing, like working on my anger, my patience, just communicating better, and just being like vulnerable with myself and with my partner. Being forgiving, like, it's a lot of things.
Vulnerability is a really hard thing nowadays.
That is hard
to really open up to, because I feel like everybody's always using something against somebody, and it's just hard to be vulnerable. The world that we live in now, like, you can't openly be vulnerable. It's hard. Nobody's gonna be accepting. Everybody's always critical and has something to say.
That's a fact.
How about you? I also have another question for you
God.
too.
She got questions today. She's not trying to answer any. She's trying to ask all of them.
I mean,
well, I had a lot of childhood trauma.
Yeah.
So at the very beginning, I can see like where I came from to where we are now, which I'm so blessed and grateful, which is why you continue to grow with your partner daily. Like, you're both a new person. Like, you're still like single Heidi, and then you're also like not single Heidi, but like you're still Heidi friend. Like, you're Heidi's still my friend Heidi. You're still gonna be a wife Heidi. You're still gonna be a sister Heidi and an aunt Heidi. So like finding the roles to decipher. What's that word? Decipher. Is it decipher?
Decipher. Okay, I'm like, wait, the fishing.
My Ebonics. But anyway, so I would say, like, number one was vulnerability. Like, I am very, like, because growing up, I didn't really see a lot of, and there's no shade, I grew up very, like, well, but I just didn't see a lot of, like, I love you and, like, touchy and kissy, and I didn't see all that. So, like, I came from a partner whose, like, number one love language is that. It was so uncomfortable. It was so cringy for me. So I'm just going to keep it short and simple. That was like the biggest thing that I can see from, I mean, I still don't do it in public, but like at home, I'm like a big baby. Yeah, but so it would be that. It would be being more vulnerable. I just don't like other people to see me vulnerable. I don't care if like people close to me or my husband sees me vulnerable. I don't like other people to see me vulnerable.
Yeah.
So it would be the biggest change that I've seen in our relationship was probably working on like.
What is it called?
PDA. I hate PDA.
Yeah. You're not a fan of PDA. It cringes me.
I don't even like.
You don't like other people doing PDA.
If I see somebody kiss, I'm like, girl, you sickos. No.
So I do have another question for you. Okay, so you know the stigma, like what a wife should look like in the Bible. How do you take the pressure off from like having to act like a wife, like? Because I feel like I think about marriage and I think like, oh my goodness, I'm going to have to be perfect. I'm going to have to cook for this man 24/7 and clean and like, how do you take that pressure off? Because I'm not even in a relationship and I'm here thinking like, I'm going to have to
Let me tell you something about me is I am not, I don't play that, no. Because I feel like there's many things to a good wife than just cooking and cleaning and this and that and that and that. There's many roles to a good wife. Yes, you follow along what the Bible says. You need to do this. You need to honor your husband. You need to do that. Yes, of course. But, oh no, I'm going to honor you if you're honoring me. Like, let's start with that basics. But the stigma of being a good wife, I feel like you know when you're ready. And it's just a conversation. Like, I'm willing to do this in this relationship. Like, this is about to be personal. I don't fold clothes. I'm the worst folder. I fold like this. It's a roll around thing. I'm the worst folder. But Tyler's an amazing folder. He's the best. So he used to complain that I sucked at folding. He's like, I don't know who taught you how to fold, but you're the worst. So then, like I said, you fold. So he folds. I wash. I suck at that too, but I wash and he'll fold. So like,
get the washing too, but we gonna get it done.
But it gets done. So I feel like it was more so of a give and take.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I'm gonna wash because I'm a girl and only girls wash. No. It's like partnership.
Yeah.
I feel like it's different for every relationship.
Yeah, you gotta do what. Yeah.
I've seen stay-at-home fathers and the wife is working. Like me, for example, I feel like when I'm married, like. That's me, but it's because I love doing those things. Yeah, like I like to work. Yeah, but like I like to do laundry. Like I love cooking. You know, I love cleaning. Like those are just things that I like to. I'm gonna need you to relax. Like that's just, you know, when you feel forced to do those things, you're not gonna want to do it. But like. That's my happy place. Right. Like, that's my peace. Like, cleaning my entire house, turning on a candle afterwards, sitting down, like, drinking some coffee. Like, that stuff is just, I like that. So, I would say, like, in my marriage, like, that's something that I would pick up. Now, when it comes to taking out the garbage, like, I feel like, and it's not roles, like, no gender roles.
Right.
It's just, it's like how you said, whatever works.
I'm not taking out the garbage.
Because
Nah, I put it by the door, and I ain't taking it out.
that's me. That's me. I'm taking the garbage out. I'm
No.
putting it in front of the door. Like, when you get to the crib, it's on the porch
Yeah,
for
it's
you,
a
ready
fact.
for you.
Yo, it takes you like 3 more seconds to walk it to the trash can.
And I just don't like doing
wild.
it. I don't like it's one.
Who
It's
wants to
dark
lift up a
outside.
trash can, then it whips down how you smell.
And then,
Who wants to
and
do
then
that?
it's cold outside. Like, I'm not trying to be outside taking out no garbage. Like, you got that.
Wow.
What?
Yes, because no thank you.
I
But
just
yeah,
feel
like
I
that's
have
just
a-
not something I like to do. You don't like to fold laundry. I do not like to take out the garbage. So it's like I'm gonna clean everything and leave the garbage
Period.
in the front porch for you.
Period.
So it's
I
just
feel
things like
I have
that.
a hard time breaking out of the mold of being independent. Like, I want to do everything by
Ooh.
myself.
What do you mean by that?
Like, how do I explain it? Like, I just want to, I don't know how to open up my space to other people yet. So I feel like when it comes to, oh, we're going to do this and that, like, I'm fine with cleaning. I'm fine with, you know, washing the dishes, eating, and I'm going to cook, whatever. But, like, when it's like, I feel like I have pressure when it's like, oh yeah, this is what I expect. from you. I feel like I'm independent, and I'm also like in the mindset of the world, like, okay, I'm not gonna do all the normal things that a Bible woman does because, you know, I feel like that's just ill.
For example, give me an example.
Like the man being the head of the house. I'm kind of breaking the mold of having that in my head, like, oh yeah, the man is supposed to be the head of the house. I used to think like, oh my goodness, no. Like, why? Why does the man have to be the head of the house? I'm way smarter. But
Said I'm way smarter.
but it's like I'm trying to break that mold of like, okay, it's not like that. Like, the man should be the head of the house. He should be what directs you, what guides you, and that is probably what's best. Because I don't want to be answering to God at the end of the day. You know, I do answer to God, of course, but I think it's just hard to break out of that mold. How did you do that?
Well, one,
Because you were independent too before that, right?
the biggest thing you said that I'm still struggling with to this day is probably submitting.
Yeah.
I'm the worst submitter ever. I'm a leader. Like, I'm Sanaya Shannon. Like, I'm a leader. The worst, I don't know, because I'm very strong. I'm very dominant. Like, I am soft, I am sweet, but I am very dominant. And I feel like I know best. I
Do
feel
you
like
think Tyler's dominant?
absolutely not.
So how do you let him lead?
How?
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard. I don't have an answer for you because it's very hard. Because
Do you let him lead?
Yes, and every time he fails, but you know what? It helps me because I say this is a lesson. Because you know what? I guarantee you. Yes, I
We're
said
gonna cut
that.
this out of the edit.
No, we're not.
Tyler, I got your back.
Oh.
We'll be right back after these messages. Hold on, wait a minute.
Like, for example, like, I mean, I do submit. No, okay. Anyway,
What makes it difficult?
what makes it difficult is to submit is because I feel like every time Tyler is in that leader position where I try to follow him, it always is like, it's a tough lesson. It's always a tough lesson that I have to learn. For example, we had to either stay in, our dog had bit somebody, so we either had to get rid of the dog or stay in the apartment, right? And I was like, dog gotta go. That's not my son. That's not, it's a dog. It gotta go. But to Tyler, it's like, this is a family member. This is a family member. We can't just give her away. And I was just thinking, oh, there's plenty more dogs. But like, it was to the point where like he was holding his ground. Like, if Tyler really holds his ground, that means it's something he really like. Was holding his ground. I'm like, you know what? This decision's on you. Like, you make it. He was like, we're gonna be fine. We're gonna find a new apartment. All this yada yada yada. And I was like, all right, you do you. I will follow you. Long story short, he did everything. Like, this was right when COVID hit, when apartment prices skyrocketed. It was when you couldn't get no apartments. Every apartment was booked so far out, nothing. For a month, we only had 2 months, by the way, to make our decision. We keeping the dog or we're staying. The last like week, he's gonna come up to me and be like, well, So, funny story is like we're like getting evicted, and we had to get rid of our dog. So I was like, oh, okay, like, so what are we going?
Another funny story. We got nowhere to go.
So, all right. So your thing is, it's not that you've never been submissive. You've allowed your husband to be submissive.
Yes.
But because he's made the wrong choice.
Every time.
He lost credibility, and now you don't have as much trust. Or
It's just that